The White Elephant Saloon welcomes you all to the city of Fort Worth and our historic presentation. I am delighted to see so many people here interested in our fair city. My name is Helen Green, and I am president of the Fort Worth Committee on Historically Accurate Commemorations, or as we like to call it, the FWCHAC. And as president of the FWCHAC, the White Elephant Saloon has asked me to talk a little bit about our fair city. Now, those of us in the FWCH, I have a little competition, don't I? Those of us in the FWCHAC feel that it is our duty to downplay the Wild West aspects of our fair city and accentuate the more positive aspects. Therefore, this evening, I will begin by discussing our founding fathers' viable form of city government. I will move on to our rich agricultural heritage, our vital beef and pork industry, our transportation, and most importantly, our hogwash. Hogwash?
You heard me. Hogwash.
Excuse me, sir. Do you realize that you are interrupting an official FWCHAC presentation?
Well, kiss my B-E-H-I-N-D.
Oh,
These good people didn't come here to listen to you pontificate. They came here because they want to know about the gunfight that happened right here 133 years ago tonight.
well, granted, there was a little skirmish here a very long time ago, but as someone with a doctorate in history with an emphasis on the city of Fort Worth, I can assure you it is all based on conjecture and hearsay.
And what if I were to tell you that there was a reliable eyewitness to the gunfight?
Oh, that's ridiculous. Nobody knows this city like me. So what kind of documentation do you have to substantiate your claims?
Not a document, little missy. An actual eyewitness.
That's ridiculous. Who?
Me! That's right, baby. Not bad for 133, huh? Do the math. I couldn't help but notice you were staring at my body. It's okay, makes us even. You saw me after the show, all right?
You are crazy. Excuse me, folks. I'm going to go get the manager.
Well, go on. And don't come back now, here? Ran out of here like she'd seen a ghost. Well, howdy.
Howdy.
Oh, come on, folks. Y'all sound like you're from Dallas. I said howdy. Hell, that's a world better. Oh, boy, don't you just love Fort Worth? You know, folks, that self-important little blowhard would have put a pack of rabid coyotes to sleep, but she was on to something. Fort Worth is blessed with a rich heritage, all right. Oh, sure. Other cities talk about a Western heritage, but I'm here to tell you that what happened right here 133 years ago tonight rivals any legend I've ever heard of. In fact, the two men involved in what has become known as the city's most famous gunfight each had well-deserved reputations as expert gunmen who were not to be trifled with. One man, a famous gambler who worked dealing cards with Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday and Bat Masterson. The other man, a former Fort Worth lawman who walked on both sides of the law. And although they came to Fort Worth for different reasons, they knew each other well. In fact, for a time, they were friends. And I guess I'm the only one who can rightly tell you what happened that night, because I was there. It was February the 8th, 1887. I was just a young boy at the time, but Fort Worth was a very different city than what you folks know today. Fort Worth was a young city, and it had become a major railhead for moving cattle north to the market. In fact, according to the records of the Armour Livestock Company, an astounding 98,350,000 head of cattle, 10,300,000 head of horses, selling for a combined $243 million, was driven north out of Texas between 1867 and 1895. There were cowboys and cowherds, drifters and gamblers, anybody wanting to make a dollar in this wild boom town could be found right here in Fort Worth. As a boy, my friends and I knew that Fort Worth attracted the kind of men whose reputations were growing like wildfire, men whose names we would only whisper. And we had heard about the gals in these saloons too, the ones that Ma wouldn't sit next to in church. And although all of us boys thirsted for adventure, and we'd been warned to stay away from the saloons, but, well, the allure of it all was more powerful than the thread of Papa's belt. So I snuck down out of the house and came to have a look-see for myself. Why, I was scared and excited all at the same time. I wanted to see something happen. I'd made up the scene 1,000 times in my mind, while some fancy gunslinger like Wild Bill Hickok, who, by the way, was known as the deadliest pistolero in the West. Nice shooting, Bill. Yeah, and who I wanted to be just like when I grew up. And all the ladies adored Wild Bill. But I figured he would go up against the bad guys in a blaze of heroism and glory.
Let's go. Think that guy was on down? Looks this way to me.
But let me tell you folks, that ain't the way it was. Now you boys get on out of here. Go on, get. Yeah, you too. Go on, shoot. Get out of here. You're nothing but a figment of my imagination. But now don't get me wrong, folks. It was still plenty rowdy, all right.
Oh, lady, I haven't been called that in a while. You looking for some company?
Oh, man. I'm looking for trouble.
Ooh.
Yep. He'll go home penniless. That there's the White Elephant Saloon, the busiest establishment in town. Downstairs is the saloon and the soiled doves and thirsty cowboys. Upstairs is the gaming parlor. The White Elephant is pure heaven for a gambler, and Luke Short considers himself the guardian angel.
I say you're a cheat.
Don't you pull that gun! That's Luke up there policing the games. Although born in Mississippi, Luke Short grew up just north of Fort Worth in Cook County. He left home at an early age. He worked driving cattle, scouted for the Army, and even sold whiskey to the Indians in Nebraska. But then he found his true love, gambling. Luke began his career as a professional gambler in Leadville, Colorado, and he was a darn good one too. In 1879, at the age of 25, Luke Short shot a man in the face over a gambling debt. He quickly became known as a man you did not want to get crossed with. Because of his gambling career, he became friends with Wyatt Earp, Bat Masterson, and Doc Holliday. These men stood beside Luke as the famous Peace Commission in Dodge City following a clash between Luke Short and reform-minded city officials. Seems they wanted to police his gaming operations at the Long Branch Saloon. Luke left Dodge City, came to Fort Worth, and he partnered with Jake Johnson and bought the gaming rights here at the White Elephant Saloon.
Get out of my place! I won't have any sore losers in my gaming hall. You really think it's worth it?
Well, do you, punk? Yep. I looked up and there he was, Luke Short. I'd heard my pa talking to men, mostly men who had lost money to Luke in the gaming parlor. They talked about Luke's reputation as both a gunman and a gambler. Now I was seeing something.
Everything okay, Luke?
Everything's fine, Jake. Just had to remove a sore loser, but he was no hill for a climber.
Oh, Jim? Charlie?
Jake? Luke? Good evening. What's wrong with you, Luke? You don't seem to be talking much.
Depends on what you want to talk about, Jim. If you're going to offer me the same deal you offered Jake here, you're just wasting your breath.
Now, it's just business, Luke. I mean, the other saloon owners, why, they see the value in our services for a reasonable